Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Monoxide Podcast. I am your host, Harris, a.k.a. Monoxide, local photographer and creator of, automotive content. I still need to figure out an intro for myself, but
that's pretty good.
I'm getting better at it, and I'm a little rusty. But Sean, introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hey, guys. This is Sean Bryant. I'm on Instagram, 1MNMopar. This show is where we take you beyond the meet, and we get to show you, or you get to meet some of the drivers of some of the cars that you see around town.
Almost perfect.
Almost.
We're working on that, but please don't sign off the video. Today we have our guest, Alex Talon. I don't care about your last name. I just just save that as in my phone. And the reason you're saved as Alex Talon in my phone is because you have a pretty cool Talon, you have an Evo, all these fun cars, you've done some fun experiences. And the reason I wanted to have Alex on our show today, Sean, is because I've known you for years. You've done some crazy events, and you have this calm composure about everything you do. But you do some absurd shit, and you're just like, yeah, it's whatever. So I think you kind of forget like how wild it is. So, I mean, let's just kind of jump right into it. I kind of met you. Where did I meet? Back in the car scene? Like
we met from Instagram.
Instagram, that's what. And this is what I tell all the young bucks in the community. It's like just meet people on Instagram, man. Yeah. But you had a pretty built Talon. You still do have it.
Still have it. It runs most of the time.
Yeah, let's just jump into the builds you have. Tell us about your cars. Let's start with the Talon, and we'll get into the Evo.
Okay. So I got a '94 Eagle Talon TSI. It is a car that was my 21st birthday present to myself. It's my favorite color. It's silver. It's by the year I was born, so it's 94. I'm born in 94. And the VIN number has 777 in it, so it's kind of been like my good luck charm, although it's not been great to me. But I've kind of driven it hard, so it is kind of reacting to whatever is going to take. But
it's no joke when power-wise, right?
No, it made 460 to the wheels at DB, and has gone through a number of transmissions in its time. But now it sits probably like 400 horse. It's on a smaller turbo, and it just is reliable-ish car.
This is a lot of power considering that car weighs. What'd you weigh it at again?
2,980 pounds.
Oh wow.
So
yeah.
400 pounds lighter than my Golf and more horsepower.
Under 3,000 pounds. Anything like under 3,000 pounds is like light.
Yeah, and all-wheel drive.
And it's all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know a lot about the Eagles. You know, I think what year did they disband?
So they technically went until 99 was the last Eclipse GSX.
Oh, okay.
But they started in 89 and went up from there. So
right, so they shared the same platform with the Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Yep.
And the engine is the same one that you can find in that, as well as Evos.
Yeah, so it's a 4G63. The 4G63 was originally brought up in the Galant VR4 and the Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX and some of the older Evos as well. But it really got big in like the first gen DSMs, which is what it's Diamond Star Motors. So it was a partnership between Chrysler and Mitsubishi, and they made some pretty cool cars. So the Plymouth Laser, the Mitsubishi Eclipse, and the Eagle Talon.
I'm so excited for this podcast because I remember having our photo shoot. It was like, I think it was in Maple Grove.
It was.
Yeah, so we were shooting over there behind this like dirt mound or whatever, and like he was educating me on all this stuff because like the reason I have this podcast is I want to learn from every walk of life and every type of car enthusiast, from the Honda boys to the Dodge Takeover guys. I got to get one of those lunatics on here.
Gosh.
I really would love to see the mentality from one of those freaks of nature. Like, for example, I'm sure you guys have seen the video. Down in St. Louis, did you ever see the video of a bunch of Chargers just mobbing down the highway and they all took their doors off? Like Jeep style?
Oh
my
yeah.
gosh.
That's getting more popular now. I've been seeing that people have been taking the doors off their Jeep Trackhawks. So I saw it. Somebody did it to a Durango, but I haven't seen this done to like. Or I guess you could do it to Challengers, Chargers, like whatever, man.
Dude, I would love to have one of these people on my podcast just to see, like, look them dead in the eye and be like,
why do you do this?
Who hurt you?
Yeah.
Why do you do this? Did you get hugs? Did you get kisses? Did you? Listen, man. Like, I just need to have a conversation. And to be fair, like if you're just fucking around taking doors off, whatever. It's the takeover people that are really interesting to me. Like It's so risky for no reason and just causing shit. Like that lady that had her poor 300 or whatever, like stomped in.
We should do like a Vice News style interview where we kind of hit the streets and we're like, in the action, and we're just like, talking to people in the moment.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
And interview them like on the street, and then have like this shit going on
just
around
in the
us.
background.
Yeah, like that would be really awesome.
I can see it already.
I bet Vice News already has something done like that.
We're going to be in like the heart of Minneapolis. Intersection's closed off, like 300 people. And we're going to walk up. And I'm going to be wearing like a fucking mustache. I'm going to be looking like Bill Nye or some shit. Or like you, really. Oh, I should get a Sean disguise. That'd be perfect. Oh my God. So I'm going to be there dressed like Sean, talking like this. Like, why is it that you people are over here doing
I'm
this?
Squidward.
You're gonna be the first one hit.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too.
He's
Harris
gonna be
shows
not paying
up, he's
attention.
gonna get knocked out in like the first 10 minutes.
You're telling me all these things. The reason to have this podcast is, a lot of people like to learn about different walks of life and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And I've been obsessed with Evos since I shot yours, I'd say. Like I shot Piero's, but like he's not a big talker.
No.
But like you're like, oh, here's everything I've done. So you built that car, and we went for a ride. I think. Did we go for a ride? Yeah, you took me for a ride when you picked me up on my college campus.
I picked you up in the Talon that day.
The Talon. Yeah,
That was
yep.
when we went up and shot, because then I dropped you back off in it. I think it was overheating on the way too.
That's
If
right,
I remember
yeah.
correctly, I was like, I gotta get on the highway.
That thing was pretty freaking quick, and there's some videos of you racing Arrow's Huracan.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like,
Well,
he pulls away.
There wasn't a video of that. I think you were the only one who was actually there
Yeah,
at
I
that
saw
time.
it. Yeah.
But we did a couple of pulls in each other's cars, and he was surprised at just how fast it actually was.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Huracan at the end of the day. It's going to walk you, but you kept up pretty freaking well.
I was surprised.
Yeah, everybody was surprised because, again, it's so light and, driver mod, so because it's a manual.
Yep.
So it's like you're able to pull that off.
Yeah.
Speaking of races, you saw me go do a roll race against Derek Stinton, our guest from last week. I had the GTR out, and he has this built Corvette.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, 40. Did we do? I think it was a 40 I think it was a 40 roll. And yeah, I got the jump, but then it was pretty much dead even the rest of the way. So it's kind of like when you and I raced in the 1M versus my car.
yeah.
Like you would get the jump, but then like I would kind of keep up. Like we weren't separating.
Right.
Whereas somebody said I should race the Durango. And I'm like, absolutely fucking not in a GTI.
I remember when you're like, oh, like now we got to race the Durango. I'm like, dude, like I've done the difference. It's ridiculous how fast the Durango is compared to like both of our cars, or to the 1M and the GTI.
I was gonna say that sounds like it wouldn't be a good race.
But when you were racing Aero in the Huracan, I think I was there too. I was in a gray Challenger.
Oh yeah, you were. That's who it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's so funny because I remember like seeing your car because you have the Achu license plate.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, I know this guy. Like
Yep.
this has got turbos. This is gonna be sick. And then you're right next to the Huracan, and both of you just take off, and I'm just like, I'm flooring it too, and you guys are just gone away. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
do remember that. I remember you being there too.
whole new class of
That was
car.
after that Team Stance Out show, like the one actual Team Stance Out event that I actually went to.
That's right. Yeah. Well, we started hosting those at Buck Hill as well. I don't know if it was after one of those, but
No, it was up in like north of the cities. I don't exactly. It was some hotel parking lot or something.
it might have been like the LA Fitness in Maple
Yeah.
Grove.
Yep. That's what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember going inside. It was really hot. I remember going inside in the AC in the LA Fitness.
Yeah, because we were trying to do shows like all around the cities. That's one of the problems with the car scene. And even to this day, it's like nobody really takes it around. Like it's all like, oh, we stick to just the north or just the south or just the east. Like
Yeah.
there's not like a wandering car scene, even
No.
still. Maybe I should fill that in. Fill
Because
that
it's
gap in.
mostly like people who host these meets and they don't want to drive very far.
No, which is totally reasonable. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to fucking like.
I want to go down the street and host a car meet.
I'm so bummed that Cars and Craft got shut down, and not because I attended it. I attended it, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 times total, just because it's, even when I was in St. Paul, it's still like a 35, 40-minute drive for me. It's like sometimes I'll go. But then it got moved up to Roseville, and I'm like, yeah, I'll never be there again. But it kind of sucks, dude, like that they got shut down. It's like
one of the big monthly
People
shows.
love that one. Dude, if I had to choose between going to Cars and Coffee or that, I will go there every single time because I've got zero interest to go to Minneapolis for Cars and Coffee. Like,
yeah. Well, I'm always working in the morning, so like I'm never working at 10 o'clock at night. I can always go there. Plus, St. Paul Brewing is literally 12 minutes from my house, so I just would shoot down, even in the Talon, with making all sorts of noises and not sure if it's gonna make it home. But I'm like, it's close enough.
bragging about working, are we? No, I always have to drop that joke in there. Yeah, no, we've had a lot of fun over the years. You've come on my rallies.
Bunch of them. I only
The first
really
rally
missed,
you went on.
I only missed one.
I think so.
I only missed the one where you guys went south because I couldn't afford it. That was when I lost my job.
Oh, you're talking
and
about
I had
Whiplash?
to bail. Yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I did every Venom rally. I don't think I missed a single one. I did both Colorados and East.
Yeah.
Did on the second Colorado, did you have to rent a trailer for that one as well?
No, I just had the truck.
Oh, you just took the truck?
Yeah, I got the Roadside Crew T-shirt from that
nice.
one.
Yeah, because he was a volunteer for that year.
Okay.
So that's the one event that Sean missed, and unfortunately
Well,
lost his status.
I'd done the event the
It was
year
the same
previous.
thing, but it was still
event.
just as fun.
And I ended up being in Denver, Colorado, the same time as you guys. So in spirit, I was there.
Perfect.
Sure, we'll say that.
The trailer.
Anyways, back to our actual supporter of Venom
I still
Rally.
can't believe I took the trailer all the way out there. I think about that all the time. I'm like, why? Why didn't I just take the truck?
So for people listening,
Yeah.
what this lunatic did. So we were trying to coordinate because you wanted to go on the rally, of course. Like, this
Well,
is
yeah.
this is gonna be your first rally ever, I believe.
Yep.
And you're like, my car's on corn, and I'm like, yeah, if you're on corn, this isn't gonna fucking work.
And it was leaking really bad.
And leaking really bad. So there's that too. But like when you go out west and when you're going through the Dakotas and Colorado and whatever, it's hard to find E85. And even then, if you can make it to the station, there's no guarantee that it's actually good E85.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is the next biggest issue. So he rents a truck and a trailer.
No, I brought my own truck.
You brought your own truck.
But I rented a U-Haul trailer for in-town use because it was cheaper.
Yeah, because they're going to check that. Oh, what's the mileage on this trailer?
That was only 2,300 extra miles.
Little life hack. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw the meme that I posted yesterday. I shared. It's like if you go to like Hertz or whatever, and you just rent a car and you just swap your tires and wheels with that car.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like instead of paying $1,000 for new tires, just go to a rental company, take the car for a day, and swap
I've
everything.
heard of people doing that with engines too.
Oh yeah, they
Holy
used to
shit.
they used to do that with the
big
Hertz,
vans and
Hertz
stuff.
Mustang. They used to rent GT350s or the GT500 back in like the 70s, and people would rent it for the day, pull the engine out, put their V6 in it, return it, and then they have this brand new V8 versus, and then they slap it in their Mustang for
Wait.
what it probably costs like $25.
Yeah.
Hold on. You were able to rent Mustangs in the 70s and 80s?
Yeah, have you not? You didn't know? That's why Hertz has like
GTH.
the Hertz, the GTH
Yep.
Mustang.
Yeah.
It's a special edition Hertz Mustang.
It's like black with gold stripes.
Yeah. No, holy shit. I didn't even realize that they even had rental companies that long. Like when you think about it.
Right.
Like
Because
that-
I mean, like back then, it's like who's really renting cars?
Well, people barely had credit cards back then.
Yeah.
Like credit cards were just starting to become hot. Like
You had to like really be like I know who you are.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
had to be
I
baller.
got your name on a piece of paper.
$25, eh?
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. Dude, that has been because like I remember watching like Full House, right? I want to say like 10 years ago, but it was like an older episode, and it was the one I want to say it was Joey or whatever in the show. He just got his like credit card, or somebody was like running up a credit card in the show, and they didn't understand how credit cards worked because it was like new to everybody. And I was just like sitting here thinking like, man, credit cards, like we're so used to it today, like that's how we live.
Yep.
And it's like back then, like it was only, again, I'm not sure when they were introduced. I wish we could pull it up, but like it's like,
Some people still don't know how credit cards work.
oh, a lot of people don't. Like that's one of the problems
not
in
good
this
with-
country is like financial literacy. Like it's ridiculous, and I'm just glad we have free information everywhere nowadays. Like, what's the podcast you introduced me to, or a number of them?
Bigger Pockets. That's one.
Yeah, Bigger Pockets. Like that's a great financial like literacy podcast. I don't listen to it regularly just because I'm in other aspects of my life right now. But it's like that's a great one to listen to. We listened to it on the way down to Texas. It's like, oh, that's a good idea. Let's learn about that.
Yeah.
So. We got a little derailed, so we went through Hertz. Oh yeah, so yeah, stealing wheels or whatever. I might do that. We'll see. So I was like, yeah, go to Driveify and just take swap with the R8 or something.
Oh my gosh.
I'm doing a lot of videos for him right now, so
yeah,
it's like, why
so
not?
Might as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you should check to see if C8 wheels are the same offset as your as your other cars.
No.
So, I completely got sidetracked even before that, so I can't even remember how we
Venom
got
Rally.
Venom Rally, there we go.
Renting a trailer.
Yes, all right, thank you. This is why I have Sean here to bring me back.
Man.
So yeah, you freaking brought this thing across the country. You went through the Black Hills.
Dude, I ripped it through the Black Hills.
Full tilt.
Yep.
You were ripping it with a truck and trailer. Dude,
Yep.
there was people like on the rally that weren't going as fast as
Yeah.
you.
Really?
Yeah,
I felt like
crazy.
you were in the back.
I
for the
was
majority.
following Carissa most of the time, but I was literally like right behind her for most of it, and then I got lost through some of it. But it was wild.
Well,
I
that's
have
part of it.
videos of my one video I made for that actual trip. There's shots where I was looking through my mirrors on both sides, and you can see I'm like literally on the white line on both sides on a single paved road, just going through.
Oh
was
my
craziness.
gosh, we got to get that video.
Dude, that's so nuts. Like I remember like me and Doug back in the day, we were just like, this guy's insane. Like it's just incredible. And he took it across the country. He tracked it at PPIR.
Yep, that was a whole adventure.
That's a great track too. That's a small
So
track,
fun.
but it's so
Oh, yeah.
good.
I had never driven my car on a track before going there, and I'm literally like, okay, I don't know how this is gonna go, and all of a sudden I'm just like flying through corners and not really knowing what it's gonna do, and I'm on shitty tires, and the car doesn't really drive all that good, and the clutch is slipping, and it's leaking oil, and all these things. So I only was able to do a couple of laps, and then I had to pull off and clean things
Which is
up a
more
bit.
than enough for a lot of people. Like, did you do autocross at all before that or no?
No, well, yes. I did one at DCTC back in like 2014 or 2015 with my stock Mazda 3, but other than that, no.
So you took like a 5-year break basically, and this is
Yeah.
your first time on a track.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I guess I never really
It's
realized.
a hell of a
that.
track to jump on.
Yeah. Well, it's I think it was what 1.4 miles. I think it was. It was a smaller track, but it had like banked corners and infield
And that one bump.
and the bump.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're thinking about
No, that's PPR.
is that PPIR? Because I know
Because
Niagara
one of
Falls
Piero's
had that too.
buddies hit that bump and actually broke a wheel off and hit the wall.
Oh,
It's a crazy video. He literally like snapped the whole wheel and just went spinning backwards.
Did you watch the Formula One race today by chance? It was hilarious. One of the Alpines or whatever got whacked or whatever, and the tire flew off the wheel. So you could see the camera like from the car, like it's the car's perspective but facing back, and you just see the wheel in the distance. Just
Oh man.
it was hilarious.
I was on the highway the other day and I saw a dude with an older car and he was on the shoulder on the right and he's like sitting all funky and I'm like, weird, why? And I'm like, on the shoulder on the left hand side there's a wheel. I'm like, oh yeah, that would be why.
Dude, that's just scary. Like, I really do wonder what I would do in one of those moments. Oh, who sent me a TikTok the other day? It wasn't a TikTok or a Instagram Reel. There's so many of them now. Somebody sent me an Instagram Reel the other day, and I think it's these dudes. I think they're in a Infinity, because Infinity drivers are lunatics. And he's just driving, they're bumping music. He's like, dude, what was that? He's like, I think your wheel fell off. He's like, nah, bro. And they're just driving. You could see the wheel. He didn't believe him until the wheel went past him.
No.
yeah. I saw
How?
that too. That video is fucking gold. No, he's like ripping it in it. And yeah, there's just like a ka-chunk, and he's like, what was that? And then like turns on the music. It's like looking around, and then the passenger's like, I think your wheel fell off. He's like, no way, dude, no way. And then you can see it like come up, and then like the driver looks to his left. He's like, that's my wheel.
Oh my god.
Slams on the brakes, like stops. They get out, check. They're like, yeah, that's your wheel.
It's kind of like
I'm surprised they were able to keep going.
How does that happen? I mean, like I know how it happens, but like, how do you let that happen?
Right. Listening to music too much, not listening
yeah.
to what the car does.
that weird rattling noise. Just turn up the music.
Yeah, it's
it
all
goes
good.
away when you do that.
Right. Because that's totally not important.
I feel
That's what Harris is
attacked.
doing right now.
no, Sean sees me pull up to like parking lots, and like I'm just like right now I'm on like a Wiz Khalifa kick, fucking all the way up, black and yellow, black and yellow.
Yeah.
No rattling noise. I should take
Yeah.
you for. I found the perfect road that shows the sound
Oh yeah.
very loudly.
Oh okay.
So
Great.
they're doing like some
Awesome.
gravel work by the school. I'll take both of you for a ride. You guys can help me diagnose this before I take it to ratified. So
Sheesh.
yeah, it's today was probably the loudest day actually. It was pretty loud.
That means it's getting worse.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I hope it's not expensive.
Isn't that something like Volkswagen tax or something? Or is that just Evo things?
Wait, what?
Everything with an Evo is expensive.
Really?
No, we're not quite there yet. Today, oh, by the way, I need to take a fucking moment for this. Fuck Carvana. I got an email today, just as a reminder, because like 6 months ago or whatever, when I was looking at Supras, 3 months ago, when I was doing well in life, I threw my shit into Carvana, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what my car is worth. I'm like, all right, that's garbage. Today I got an email saying your car is now worth less. It's like, thanks for the
I didn't need to know that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I still get emails like that for my Challenger, even though I sold it, so many, or like 2 years ago now. And when I first got the offer, it was somewhere like around like $39K or something like that. And then today, and I've gotten like multiple emails in the past that say like, oh, it's gone down. But this last one that I got said it's worth like $29K. It like dropped really far down. I'm like,
used
okay.
car prices are sinking right now.
Yeah, car prices are going down. I do like it because I do like to like keep up with like, the car market and seeing like prices like that, but
And if you're in a buying place, then that's really good news.
Yeah, it sucks
I
to
could
be a
use a new
seller.
truck, but it also means that my truck is going to be worth less.
I don't know. Like I'm kind of
trucks are never worthless.
I know,
They'll
right?
always be worth more
Especially
than
in good condition.
Yeah, they'll always be worth more than like the past decades or 2 decades Porsches. Like nobody really needs those. Everybody needs a
truck.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Trucks are the best.
I miss having a truck. I remember bottoming out my Gladiator.
It's not a truck.
That's light duty.
Okay, how long's your bed?
5.5.
Oh, that's not a truck either. Suck it.
Wait, how much can the Gladiator tow?
We're not talking about towing. No, you can't fit
that's
shit.
why
about
you have a
about
truck.
7,000 to 8,000 pounds, I believe.
I thought it was less
As
than
much
that. I think
as
it's like
your
7,500,
mom.
but yeah,
It might be that.
which actually is pretty good for a Jeep. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I had my buddy's Land Cruiser behind my truck the other day, a couple months ago actually, on a U-Haul trailer, and I was like, damn, the truck is like kind of struggling with this one. And I asked him later, I'm like, how heavy is that thing? He's like, like 7,500 pounds, 7,200 pounds. I'm like, so you're telling me I was towing over 9,000 pounds? Like that makes sense as to why I was struggling.
Oh yeah.
It did great otherwise.
Durango's more of a truck than the Jeep. It can tow 8,800.
That's a lot for an SUV.
Yeah, but not anymore with the lowering springs, because then now it touches, it rubs.
Yeah,
in the
whatever. It
rear.
wasn't going to be towing anyways.
No. No, but it would be sweet maybe in the future if I, get something else and I want to tow it behind it, and maybe I'll throw the old, stock springs on, and it'd be
I always
sweet.
put just like a rear air helper type of thing on there so that you can just put it right to the level you want.
I'll have to talk to Bryce about that. He's got so many ideas for what I can do with the Durango.
Surely. Yeah. That would be fun.
I would love to see that boy win the Powerball.
Bryce?
Dude, the shit he would create and do, yeah.
I mean, that's with a lot of people.
No. Some people never deserve money in their lives. They would not do anything good with it.
Yeah.
Bryce would do good stuff. Like here's the deal. I'm in a camp of, like, for me, I would never want to win a Powerball. Like maybe a small one, like one of those. But like I just feel like I would not value it as much, like unless I work for it. Like listen, I'll take $1 million. I'll take $1 million today immediately. But like if I got like 200-300 million, it's like you will constantly have that chip on your shoulder where people will be like, oh well,
You know,
You
if you
got lucky.
really
and then
feel
you just
that
drive
way,
away in your supercar. And
yeah,
you're
if
like,
you
"Oh,
really
whatever."
feel that way, you can just donate all of it.
That's true. Yeah.
first of
All
all,
depends
you
on
can
what you
fucking
do with
starve. What?
It all depends on what you do with the money.
Yeah, I guess that's valid too.
But it's like what we were talking about earlier. Some people are just dicks.
There's that there's a reason that like most Powerball winners end up dying broke. Apparently that's a real statistic, allegedly. It's like I could see it.
Hey, you get into this like, oh, I can just live like this forever. And then it's like, oh, no, I can't.
Because all of a sudden you have 45 cousins that are like, hey.
Yeah.
By the way, my brother's in Bosnia right now. I did not know I had this much fucking family. I'll be honest with you. I'm just like, he's like, oh, we got this cousin, this one's a dick. Like, it's like, whoa, what? I don't know these people. So it's like, it's kind of wild. I didn't realize that. So, but that's what happens when you start having, or even like with the podcast, like the more success I have with this, more people are coming out of the woodwork like, hey, buddy. It's like, what do you need?
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think that's great. I think.
I mean, it has positives for sure.
Getting that contact is really important because we've gotten a few people who we've never talked to, you know, hit you up,
Yes.
and you know, now we're meeting new people, and they seem interested, and
Just grows
you
the
know,
audience.
Yeah.
The more people listening,
Yes.
the more people interested.
Absolutely, 100%, and I love that aspect of it. 99.9% of everything that comes with this is amazing, but every once in a while you get that one person that's just like, they kind of feel like entitled. Like, I've listened to all this, like, you give me a freebie, you know, like every once in a while that comes, but at the end of the day, like, it's such a blast. Like, I love it. We're excited. We're gonna have some guests next month that are, they're gonna be pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like people who like, okay, I don't know, I don't want to share too much here, but one of the guys is like an engineer for a large company a few years ago, like an automotive company, perhaps the one you work for. Wink. Don't give that away. Or once upon a time, but nonetheless.
Oh, what do you do for work?
Am I supposed to answer that question?
Yeah, sure. go
Well,
for
I'm
it.
interested because apparently it has to do with automotive.
I'm a service advisor at a Ford dealership.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you're the guy that when I bring my car in and you're like, this is what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
It's fun and really not fun at the same time.
Right.
There's a lot of people who think they know things and really don't. Like, oh, your diagnostic just means you plug a computer in. It's like, no, it does not. No.
Wait
I
a second. It doesn't?
I can't just plug a computer into something and have it tell me why your windshield washer pump doesn't work. That's not how that works. I wish it was, but it's not. And then you explain that to them, and they're like, well, it's still not worth $200. I'm like, okay, but are you going to do it? Yeah. Like, all right, cool. So what was the whole point of that conversation?
That's one thing that that really grinds my gears, is because people come in there, they'll be like, "Oh, $200, that's a ripoff," or
Yeah.
or even like sometimes with photos, people be like, "Oh, that's expensive." I'm like, "Okay, you go take it." "Oh, but the camera's $4,000." "Oh, is it?"
Yeah, right, exactly.
"Oh, the tools to fix your car are really expensive." "Oh, you don't have friends that'll let you borrow tools?" Thanks, Sean. You don't have friends that'll let you borrow tools?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's expensive. That's why it's $200. You're paying for the experience, because guess what? If you go to try to fix whatever pump or whatever by yourself using fucking Chris Fix or something, spending
You're probably going
hours,
to break more things than you're going to
you're gonna
fix.
break more things. It's gonna take you 6 times as long.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's great if you just want to learn how to fix it and get better.
But if you are, let's say, somebody that has to go to work tomorrow, or
Yeah.
you value your time,
Yep.
and you're not doing it as a hobby or whatever to save money, like, that's the thing. I know people who work on their cars to save money. Hi, that's me. You know, it's like, to a degree, but it's like, fucking pay it.
Yeah, and that's something that I've seen online. People say, you know, oh, that's outrageous, $600. Like, I could do that myself, and it's like, okay. Well,
Go ahead.
I'll let you do it, but you know, you need the time.
Yep.
You know, when you're not working, you want to spend your free time doing this? No. Well,
Right.
then you know you gotta pay me do it, or suck it up. You got the tools to do it? No? Well, then you got to go buy them or
Yep.
rent them, because
Yeah.
some of them are specialty tools.
And what happens when you break something?
Yeah.
Oh, do you know how to get that broken bolt out? Because I don't know how to get that broken bolt out.
Yeah, it's
They
convenience.
know how to get that broken bolt out.
Yeah.
That's why you pay them, for their knowledge, their skills.
Speaking of broken bolts, did you guys ever see the video? I want to say this was like a year ago. I think it was like an SVJ or whatever, and they had like 4 or 5 techs like standing on like the torque wrench trying to take a wheel off or whatever.
Oh my god.
Like something was just completely fucked, or somebody messed something
Oh
up.
my gosh, yeah.
You remember? You know what the video I'm talking about?
I
want to say it was
I
purple.
think, yeah, somebody like torqued it to like 1,000 foot-pounds or something, like unbelievable.
And they had to cut the wheel off.
Yeah.
Oh no.
A Lamborghini SVJ wheel.
It was an event door of some kind.
yeah.
But it might have been an SVJ.
I mean, like it had the solo locking nut. What is that
Yeah.
called on F1? Just the one
the
wheel
one,
nut.
like, what the fuck is it?
But
Like
that
center lock or
Center
something.
lock.
yeah,
Yeah.
center lock, and somebody with a massive air gun just went at it, just bah, 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 bah.
That's craziness.
I loved dude, every once in a while I get mesmerized by these we're back to recording. I just tapped it and stopped recording. Oops.
Oh my gosh.
I get mesmerized by these techs or whatever that work on Formula One cars, right? Like when they come in for a pit stop and it's like a 2.3 second pit stop. That is insane, dude. Like it's
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes me about 13 minutes to change all 4 wheels by myself, even if I had 4 of me's going at it, I think we'd still only be able to change.
But it's specialty design tools with those specially designed parts.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
all meant to, they've done it 100 million times.
Yeah, they practice,
Yeah.
they have like, setups where they're like, okay, and they just do it for like probably hours.
Oh, yeah.
So two
Well,
things
that's
on
a serious thing.
that. So we actually we were down at F1 Miami last year, and you could actually go and change a wheel. Like they had timers and stuff, like competitions. It was pretty cool actually. I didn't get to do it, but I saw other people doing it, and I was like, oh, that's cool, like a simulator or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yo, let's be a pit stop mechanic for a day. Honestly, that's probably just their scam of trying to find someone talented to do
be.
it for them. That'd be a good paying job. I think they get
Pennzoil
paid
last
well.
year at the SEMA booth had an oil change like simulator thing, and you could like try to do an oil change as fast as you could.
I feel like you're kind of limited by gravity on some aspect, right? Because like the oil has to come out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess
Well, it was water at that point. I mean, it was just water that they were going back and forth
Oh,
with.
yeah,
but
true. Oil is expensive.
Yeah.
yeah, true. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just ordered it today. It's gonna be here in a week. Shit, what was my other point?
I feel like that would be really dangerous because as you're doing that faster, you risk stripping a bolt or messing up like the torque.
I think most of everything was like plastic. It was literally just like on a big
oh,
stand.
it was like for like a kid's game.
Yeah. It was cool though.
Whack a wrench. No, I think it was Ferrari back in the day. I can't remember what team it was, but basically, it might have been decades ago now or whatever. But the idea was that some automotive team and then some hospital or whatever, they collaborated or whatever. Because like surgeons, think about it, as they're preparing for a surgery, they're getting all their tools. Like, they come up with that, stupid tray or whatever that's going to cut into you. And they're, all their tools are there and ready. All their nurses are prepped. So then once you actually start the event, you are completely prepared. Whereas pit stops, probably, 100 years ago, whatever, when racing first started, whatever the heck that was, it's like, oh, the guy's coming in, like you had no radio, you had no way of planning for it. Yeah. Everybody's just scrambling, even last year we saw that with Ferrari when they accidentally did a double pit stop because strategy. Nobody was ready and it cost them like 30 seconds. It's like, it's kind of ridiculous to think just how much of a science they've got it down to now.
Oh yeah, I can't remember if it was like 24-hour Le Mans or what, but it was like a big race, and back in the day, like all the drivers would usually take like a break to like drink tea or like have a sandwich, and then they would just like stop. But then like one race team was like, what if we don't stop and we just keep driving? And everybody else like,
Sitting
wait,
there
those guys
drinking tea
didn't,
and then
those guys didn't stop for a sandwich break, and they're 10 laps ahead now. What the heck?
That's me on any
and,
road
and
trip.
then from
That's funny.
from that point on, all the teams stopped doing cookie and tea breaks.
It's so ridiculous.
concept.
Like, every road trip, like, this is why I love traveling with Sean, by the way, because he actually respects the fact that we've got to get back on the fucking road and not do a half-hour break. It's like, come on, let's get this, shit on the road.
I didn't just pass 200 people for them to get back in front of me.
I know, right? I feel the same way.
And people look at me like I'm the lunatic. I'm like, no, we have so much ground to make up. Stop
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm actually going to be starting a new series. I want to say Reels or TikTok or whatever. Where, have you guys ever seen the video of the guy that? But I have a lot of video references this episode for whatever
Yeah.
reason. Did you ever see the video of the guy where he's like staring down the camera? Go to the gym. Go to the gym. Go to the gym now.
No.
Oh my god, it's one of the funniest things ever. I mean, it gets old after a while, but it's like he's just staring at you. Go to the fucking gym. And that's the entire video. 30 seconds of him just walking and pacing around,
I think
spitting
I did
out
see
water.
that actually.
Yeah, I mean, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, that's Harris humor for you.
Yeah.
Harris, what the fuck? You would giggle too. Don't you lie to me.
Guy yelling "Go to the gym" at me, I would have swiped immediately up.
Yeah. That's what I did.
It's
Yeah.
funny. Like, he'll be holding on
But I
duck
retained
sometimes.
that for some reason because
Or I would have kept watching, waiting for the punchline,
All right.
and been
Point
like, "Wow, that was really
being-
disappointing."
Point being is I want to do a similar series, but for driving etiquette, get out of the left lane. Get out of the fucking left lane. Just, get really tilted.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
the
know.
people who do it aren't going to see it. That's
They
the problem.
will, because I'm going to tell people to send it to their fucking grandma and be like, hey, have her watch this video because clearly it's been 45 years since she got her license and she needs a refresher. So,
So new series, Harris yells at grandmas.
you think I don't?
Harris yells
No,
at
I
the
know that
camera
you do.
again.
Yeah.
I'll have to tell you this story off air because the day I got let go, You've heard it a million times, Sean.
Have you not shared this on the podcast?
I
I could have sworn you told this story on the podcast right after, because you were telling this story to everybody.
No, I don't think I told it on the podcast. This is one of those in-person stories. So I'm always trying to perfect it in a better way of telling it. So it's like
I think you've perfected it by now.
Yeah, that's true. I'll tell you off air because I like to keep certain words off of the old podcast.
Okay, well keep it PG-13 then.
No, then it sounds funny.
Okay. Well,
Me yelling at grandmas is the best thing ever. Honestly, I wish I could do it more, but not all of them have convertibles.
I'm sorry to everybody who doesn't get to hear this story. You're just gonna have to bug Harris about it.
Yeah, I'm a storyteller at heart, and my brother hates going to car shows with me because I'll tell the same story to like 8 to 10 people during the course of the show, and
I know, yeah, because we'll go to the car show and I'll be hanging out with you, and we'll go like start walking. Some people walk up. You start talking to them about what just happened to you. We keep walking.
Or to them.
New group of people show up.
Same story.
Same story. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna hear this all day.
It might not even be the same exact story. It might be like a story you've already heard because like I haven't seen this person in like 3 months or 4 months, and it's just relevant. Like we start talking about, I don't know, tacos, and then I start bitching about Chipotle. How they fucking skipped me on my chicken again today. But just all these. I really should have a separate podcast for ranting. Now that I think about this, I think I'd be good at it.
Sounds productive.
Yeah, I think it is. I think
it's therapeutic, I believe.
It is therapeutic. Like there's a lot of comedians such as like Bill Burr and like Tim Dillon. Like they just they have a buddy such as Sean here, sit at the distance, and I just sit here and rant. And occasionally you'll hear Sean giggle.
I just absorb all the hate that you have.
That actually does sound entertaining.
I've thought about it. Like actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Have Sean here as like somebody to bounce ideas off of, like, instead of being like 50-50 how we are now, like you'd be like 10 or 20% sitting on this side, and then we pull something up on the screen here, and then we'll see, like, let's say, give me something stupid that's come out in the car world in the last year.
Burble tunes.
Burble tunes. Oh my fucking god. Like, pull that up on the team. I'll pull up a video of a burble tune, some stupid BMW that makes no power but goes and then just start ranting about it. Like, I don't know.
I think you could go off on that for a while.
I can go off for a while. I think so. Listen, I love, there's a skill to ranting. There really is. Like, here's the deal. And I'll push back on this.
Yeah, you're doing it right now.
Yeah.
I will, and then we'll get back to Alex because I keep forgetting that this episode's about
It's been
him.
like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's been the longest tangent ever.
We started with fucking stealing wheels from Driveify, and now we're here. But it's like, some people talk for the sake of talking. Like, there's no point to it. And I'm kind of here right now at this moment. So I know some people are chuckling in their cars right now, or, at the gym or wherever they listen to this. But it's like, I try to entertain. Like, I'll bitch. But some people will be like, oh, so I went to Chipotle, and Stacy is over here talking about her vacation, and she went to Hawaii, and it was so fantastic. And oh my God, the sand was so dry because it's fucking sand. And just ridiculous. So, cars. All right. I got a lot of, there's some bad energy in here today.
All right, so let's get back to you.
Evo.
I think we talked a little bit about the Eagle, so let's talk about some about the Evo.
Okay. All right. So the Evo, I guess the biggest thing that's happened with that car is it blew up on Venom Rally. Technically, the rally was over, but
you made it, sort of.
I made it through the rally.
And that was for New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
Yeah,
125 miles an hour with my dog sleeping on the center console. I had my dog with me the whole time.
I remember that.
Yep.
I remember that. Me and my buddy Hunter, he was riding shotgun. I think you were one of the only solo drivers, but you brought your dog with you.
Yep.
And that was just like so
'cause
cool.
she had the co-pilot badge on.
Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah, and then I got to have Derek ride with me. And he rode with me for most of the time, which was pretty cool because he got some really sweet shots of Shay at Niagara Falls and whatever, and it was fun being a camera car for a while. But yeah, so my AC went out 1 hour into that. I did a pull next to the videographer who was riding in the Charger, the silver Charger, Trevor's Charger.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So I'm like, I'm gonna do this pull. And all of a sudden, like literally 30 seconds later, I'm like, oh man, it's really warm in the car now. Oh, that's not good.
Just blowing a hot air.
Yep. And then we made a wrong turn and had to catch back up. And I remember looping through that whatever back road in Wisconsin that we took that was like running parallel to 90 or whatever,
Yeah, I
where we were
remember
going
that.
up over those hills and whatever. And I was running with dude with the GT500, Mark.
Yeah.
And he was behind me, and I was like, let's see if I can outrun him. And I did. And then I was running with a bunch of people on 90 coming into Chicago where it's like 6 lanes. And I looked at Derek. I was like, you think I can outrun everybody? And he's like, I don't know. I was like, okay, here we go. And like a while later, I'm like, there's nobody behind me anymore. And traffic's getting thick at this point. It took like 15 minutes for anybody to catch up to me. And I like slowed down to the speed limit or less, and we're just cruising. Racing, sliding the Evo at that shitty racetrack.
It was autocross. I mean,
That was sort of autocross.
there.
It was.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Don't set off another rant.
It was a banked oval track.
That had just had a demo derby run on it the night before.
I wasn't there for that.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. Yep. And not only was it banked, but it had all these crazy divots in it from the way they paved it.
Yeah.
So, like, my blown front suspension was not having fun.
Yeah.
And I was on my Firehawk Indy 500s, which are terrible autocross tires. Highly don't recommend that. All they do is squeal and slide, which did make it fun when I figured out I could slide it around. But I think I was right behind Mark. I was like a second behind Mark going around that track, which was pretty fun.
Really, because I got to do a ride along with Mark in the GT500, and he was sending it through there, and he was like, "Oh, how do I do this quicker? How do I do this quicker?" He's really competitive.
Yeah.
So he was like, he wanted the best time that day.
Yeah, when he got it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember I was talking to Doug. I'm like, all right, how much more do I got to go to catch up to Mark? He's like, 1.9 seconds or whatever. I'm like,
And that's
okay.
so much time because when
Especially
you're
on that short of a track.
already giving it all you got,
Yeah.
you just make like the slightest mistake and it's the lap is a wash. You got to start over.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was I want to say not like the most complicated track, but it had probably one of the tightest. What would you even call that?
Yeah,
like
that crazy turn.
it was basically a U-turn. Like
yeah, it really was.
yeah.
I was going into that turn to
Yeah.
try to get power out of it.
Yeah, it was
and then
crazy.
going on that bank was hard because if you go too fast, you're going to slide.
Yeah.
And you're going to go straight into the wall.
Yeah, I did a few laps in the BMW, and I was like, I'm just not feeling it. Like, I'm sure I could like push it even harder, but on this track, there's no reason to.
No.
And then I think Trevor in the Charger beat my time. I'm like, okay, you got it. Like he was having the time of his life going around that track.
It was pretty fun.
So
It wasn't PPIR, but it was a good track.
oh yeah.
What else happened on Rally East?
That was the second track day, though, wasn't it? Didn't we have another track day on that event?
No, we did go-karting.
Yeah.
That was a blast.
Yeah.
That
The-
that was the Le
That
Mans
was
style.
really
One
fun.
hour of Le Mans.
Yeah, I'm taking myself out of timeout, by the way. The caffeine hit really hard. I realized, I looked at the time, and I was like, holy shit, I'm really going for it. But, yeah, so that was the Le Mans style go-karting, and I wish there was
With
somewhere
Mario
locally.
and Luigi.
Yeah, that was
That was probably still like one of my favorite things that has ever happened on a rally is doing that 1 hour of
Yeah.
racing karts
Team
and
of four.
having teams of four.
That was so
Each
fun.
person having to race, was it a certain amount of laps or they just had to do at least one?
It was
lap?
1 hour, and I think the minimum was like 10 minutes a person or something.
Because it had to be fair,
Yeah.
where you didn't just like have one person just do one lap and then have somebody
Well, it was
like
mandatory switches.
carry
Yeah.
the whole team. Like
Right.
you could have just thrown the fastest person of the day into a cart, call it a day.
That's a lot of time, though, an hour in a cart.
Oh, I did about 15. Our team was like very fair where
Yuck.
we were like, okay, each of us gets exactly 15 minutes because none of us were like the best or the worst. So, we were just like, okay, we'll do it in this order. Everybody gets 15 minutes and it's all fair. And we ended up getting second.
I remember fucking Doug came into the pit lane sliding sideways. Did you guys see this part?
Yeah.
I
don't know if
barely
you s-
remember that.
Dude,
I was there because I was like, because you guys were in front of us, and if he didn't do that, which when you're coming into the pit lanes, you're supposed to come in, slowly. He came in at full speed, slammed the brakes,
Now I do remember that.
sideways.
Yeah.
and yeah, that was so rude of him.
It's very Doug.
Yeah, you guys should have got disqualified for that.
Yeah, no, that is one of my fondest memories of Venom Rally for
That
sure.
was so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I wish we could do it locally. Nobody wants to do it locally. Well, Stockholm is the only track that could really support it, but they don't have a pit lane. They do, but you have to go up a hill, and if people are doing it as fast as they possibly can, people are going to get hurt when they fly off the hill. So it's just
yeah, for sure.
So that was what, Pennsylvania, I think it was.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
I think the
I think
race was called Pittsburgh Race or something.
Yeah,
because they also had a racetrack.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
At that same time, they were doing autocross.
Yeah, there was a ton of cars there.
I know. We showed up and we're like, all these really nice cars, and then
we go to go-karts.
We go karting.
Yeah, I think that overall, I think it was a good bang for buck event. The autocross, again, there were some issues with that. Looking back at it, but
It's better than not autocross, though.
And there's some things that I'll speak about off camera as to what went horribly wrong there. But yeah, no, I think that was fun. A lot of people had fun. Mark really, like you said, got super competitive.
Yeah,
dude, I love that guy. He is the rowdiest rallier ever. Like he is here to fucking win.
Oh yeah,
and him and I won on the what's Balto's rally? Land of 10,000 Lakes rally. I think we got first or whatever last year. So I'm up there. I give the stupidest speech ever. It was not PG. Look who you're talking to. And everybody's just like chuckling. Did he just say that? I can't even remember what I said. All I remember is everybody looking at me like a psychopath. So
I've never done that rally, the 10,000 Lakes rally.
Oh, it was a blast. And you should do community this year. Use code monoxide for 10% off.
Hey,
but
nice plug.
but no, it's a blast. Like Balto puts on a good event.
Yeah.
And each of them have been good. I've been on 1 and 3. I never got to go on 2. 3 was a blast. That's the one I did with Mark for 2 days in a 1,000 horsepower GT 500. What a blast. And 1 is when I got pulled over in a GTR that we'll say borrowed.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, and everybody still to this day, a lot of people think that I got clocked at 150. That is not the case. I got pulled over for passing on the right. So,
yeah, if you were doing 150, you'd be in jail. That car would have been.
Well,
impounded.
I didn't say I didn't do 150. I said I didn't get pulled over for it.
Didn't get caught doing 150.
That's what I mean. Like, if you did get pulled over for 150, you'd probably be, in jail. Car would have been impounded.
Oh, with how angry that city was, dude, it was like a hornet's nest. Did you say you were? No, you weren't.
I've never done any of them.
Dude, it was like a hornet's nest. I think there was 13 or 14 pullovers within like 2 miles. Because like everybody was passing like on the shoulder, like newbie ralliers are the worst because they have something to prove.
Yep.
That happened on first Venom rally to Colorado. We were driving to the first checkpoint, and I think people in front of us were stirring the pot.
It was 7 cars. I remember this.
We had cops,
Oh
come
yeah,
up.
that was still in Minnesota, wasn't it? We hadn't even.
Yeah.
Well,
was it in Minnesota?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
We were
Because I remember passing a bunch of people that had gotten pulled over, hearing something about it on the radio. I was way in the back, so
It was either just before or just after Mankato.
yeah.
Right, yeah. So, and I remember the cops coming up to some of us. I think we had pulled over for lunch, and they're like, yeah, been getting a lot of calls about some, people with vinyls on their cars and going a little too fast. Like, that wouldn't happen to be you guys. We're like, no, we're here.
Yeah.
Just looking at David's Porsche that has fucking meth and 900 horsepower. It's like, no,
Couldn't
would
have
not
been
know
us.
who it is, officer.
We drive the speed limit
Yeah.
and use our blinkers.
Literally a Hot Wheels car. Oh, I wonder what that man's up to today. No, his page blew up. I think he's at like 250,000 followers on Instagram or something. He had a video that got 50 million views on Instagram. It was like I think it was a Subaru or something, and it came up with a bunch of cardboard arrow to a meet.
Oh,
Just
boy.
something ridiculous. So
That would be something that blows up.
yeah, but no, dude, rallies are fun. I do intend to bring one back in the future. It just has to be the right circumstance, the right time, and I have to have the right people on board.
Yep.
My biggest problem was just I
expensive.
didn't full send it. So like
I feel like you full sent it.
I fucking full sent
Yeah,
it. But
going
like,
south,
was
that
gonna
was an
say.
amazing experience. You put us in really nice hotels. You catered dinner for us every night.
right, but my ideas did not match my action. If I had 15 more ralliers, we'd still be having a rally. And I didn't put the effort in to get more ralliers early on. The rally itself was fucking phenomenal, but yeah,
It's hard to get people on board for something that's that expentive and requires.
The thing
Like a
is, it
level of
really
car,
wasn't
though.
that expensive.
It kind of is though.
I mean, this was the best that you hosted, through Team Stance Out and Venom Rally. You really went big, and I felt like the price, even reflected like similar rallies that you'd done in the past. You know, for a full weekend and like destinations and tracks and everything that you did, it was, you know, that track in Georgia, Atlanta Raceway.
And Atlanta Motorsports Park.
Motorsports Park. That was an amazing track. That was absolutely gorgeous. One of the best I've driven.
I know a thing or two about big things. No, that's the thing. And it really wasn't. Like, listen, I get it. Like, to people who are on a budget. Like, this wasn't a budget rally, but it was a bang for buck rally. Because for 2450, I mean, it was a kick-ass event. And I was targeting kind of like that sweet spot between 10K Lakes and Crown Rally. You know, because like that was kind of like people who have, you know, like Chaz and you, like who have, you know, like modified cars and they have some disposable income. Like your
rallies have gotten like progressively bigger and bigger. Where, you know, it used to be your first rally, my Challenger, just a base 392, like was one of the nicest cars there. Where, you know, then in Venom Rally, like even the first one, like it became like mid. And then
we had McLaren McLaren on that one too.
I know. And then we get to Whiplash, your final one, and
it was a good crowd.
I felt, and I took the 1M, and I was like, I was probably the slowest car there. Honestly.
Crazy. Yeah. That's the one I wish I would have gone on, but
a lot of people do, and I wish you did too. Otherwise, I'd be in business.
Kind of blown up. Yeah.
But and that's something I've talked about before too. It's like if you have this great idea, you have to meet it with great action too. I've been reading the 10X book by Grant Cardone, which, say what you want, some people are iffy on him, but it's like I just am in this weird mentality right now, which is like I gotta fucking send it. But no, rallies will be back at some point. Obviously, you'll be one of my first people to hit up as a volunteer or a participant, just because you have such a blast. Like, you are top tier rally spirit. Like, you're just down to have a good time. So it's like, and you're just chill, you know, like that a lot of people get antsy and nervous on rallies. Not a lot, but a decent amount. And I feel like it ruins their event because they're always worried about something breaking or whatever. Not Dan. Dan's got it figured out. He brings a trunk full of tools.
Yeah.
But
spare parts.
Would you bring the Evo or the Talon on the next rally?
I don't think the Talon will ever go on a rally again.
That one's more for local.
Yeah, that honestly, like, I've looked at that car differently over the last few years since getting the Evo. It's really just like a collector status type of cruiser car. It's not gonna be anything fast anymore. I mean, it still is fast, but like it's not replaceable at this point. And taking the chance of having something happen is just not worth it to me.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you really don't find those ever.
I know of one other silver, I don't know what year it is, 93 or 94, same body style as mine, that is as clean, if not cleaner than mine. I know of one other one, but I don't think I could find another.
Yeah, would you ever consider like reverting it back to stock? Or maybe even like tapering it down even more.
Yeah.
You know,
I would keep the turbo setup that I have right now because it's actually like a stock frame turbo, but it's the biggest you can make a stock frame turbo.
Okay.
But I would love to put power steering and air conditioning and all the nice stuff back into it to make it something that I can like drive around and be like semi-reliable.
Make it more showy rather than power. I could see that. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of like that was kind of like me with the Grand Cherokee. I just went a little bit too big and it kind of outgrew the platform, and then it was like just too much of a headache, and I just really didn't want it anymore. Yeah. Like I didn't want the headache, and so the only solution was to part it out or sell it to somebody who I knew would love it, and that's where Bryce came in and saved me from my project, my own project.
I'm so excited for him to do that build.
Yeah, he's been texting me nonstop about what he's doing to it.
Hey, bro, I'm fucking your ex.
No, what the fuck?
That's what your car is. It's your ex. It's like, hey, look at this.
That's
a stretch.
Yeah.
You don't see. Okay, I'll be back to going.
He's taking care of my baby. That's all I cared about.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. What do you do with your cars?
What do you mean?
You've met Harris.
You obviously do touch them or something.
What? No, huh?
I'm just saying. You're the guy that kissed on the exhaust. Good night, honey.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Neither did I.
I'm just saying. A dude took your